book, there are a lot of ways to describe the book. The way it's most often described is it's the story of a young boy who lost his father on September 11th. And I think the emphasis is put on September 11th because it's a trauma in our very, very recent past. It's honestly not the way that I think of the book. I think of it as a story about loss and about family with September 11th in the backdrop. You know, only one thing ever motivates me to write, and it's wanting to find words for something that I'm feeling very strongly, or wanting to put thoughts into words, formless thoughts into words. So many times I've had outlines for books that I wanted to write, or ideas. At the end of my first novel, Everything is Illuminated, there's an author photo and a little biography. And at the end of the biography, it says he's currently at work on a novel that takes place in a museum. And it was there because I thought that that's what I was going to write. I thought I was nearly done with it, actually. And then, little by little, because I had these very strong thoughts and feelings, I was sort of guided elsewhere to Extremely Loud. There's nothing particular that I hope readers from the book take from it. I hope that it offers a very strong experience for them, something that moves them. There's no particular way that I want them to be moved. I think it can be a real mistake for a writer to try to anticipate or guide the reading experience too much. But I hope that it's the kind of book that is taken down from the shelf a lot. There are enough perfect books written all the time, books that are really admirable. But that doesn't feel like enough to me. I don't know that I would ever write a book of that kind, but to me what's more exciting is writing a book that people argue about and continue to think about and whose meaning remains open to them. It's one thing to speak in a bookstore or in a theater to people who have bought tickets. It's another thing to speak to a group of young people from incredibly different backgrounds, not a self-selecting audience, but an audience that's actually been compelled to read the book. That's very, very exciting because you get all kinds of feedback that you would never get from a self-selecting audience. And to me, I've been lucky enough to do this a couple of times, and they've been really the richest experiences for me as a writer. You can do these things by Skype. You can pre-record a speech. You can give a canned speech. Or you can take advantage of the fact that we're living people occupying the same space and really try to engage in a way that feels deep. So there are some things that I'll say, but mostly I'm hoping we'll devote the time to my hearing responses, my giving my own, the sort of story of my own experiences. I don't feel like I have any kind of privileged access to the meaning of the book. I'm never interested in telling people what it means, but I'm very interested in hearing what it means from readers and then, giving my own thoughts. I really don't have any messages. I don't feel that novels are good at messages. Nonfiction books can be very good at messages. Teachers can be good at giving messages. Religious leaders, politicians give messages. But in a way, a novelist is not there to give a message, but to open up the questions, to make experience feel more broad and more deep. I'm at a point in my life now with two quite small kids where it's not easy to travel, and in fact I hardly ever do readings anymore, but I didn't have to think about this for a second. I was so honored to have my book chosen and so excited to engage with the community.